So yeah, I'm on the Pacers here, plus the 7.5. Mac, what are your thoughts on the game?
I agree with you. That's my best bet. Pacers plus 7.5. I could imagine the Thunder winning it, but I think they have so much more pressure. I mean, I expect them to win it, but I don't expect them to cover. I think that they have so much more pressure. If you would have told Shai Gilgeous-Alexander before the season, all right, you're going to be the MVP. He was like 5-1, so
Mhm.
very good.
Yep.
You'd have the best record in Thunder history, the best net rating ever. You'd make it all the way to the finals, and your legacy would be on the line. Like that's a mind trip. It's like, wait a minute, I'm doing way better than anyone ever expected of me, but I will be labeled less than what I could be. Take down a peg, whatever it is, if I lose this game. I don't think any other player on either team has anything like that kind of swing where he's minted as Jokic, as Giannis, as one of those guys. Or I don't even know. He would be in a very special category, like maybe LeBron before he won it after he lost in 2011. But I mean, LeBron was a multiple-time MVP. It's a totally different
Yeah.
stratosphere that he was in. From an unknown guy to a perennial like underachiever, it's a pretty steep drop. So I think that's a lot of pressure, and I think the Pacers have almost the exact opposite. No one's going to think of Tyrese Halliburton as a top five guy if he wins this. He's averaging like 15 and 7.
Yeah.
He's not setting the world on fire, but he's the leader of a champion potentially. So he has a lot of upside. I don't see a lot of downside for Tyrese Halliburton. Same thing with Pascal Siakam, a veteran in this league who's already won a championship.
Yeah.
He's minted as a very good player. He's probably a Hall of Famer when you look at the other guys that have made it, but not he's not Charles Barkley if he doesn't win it, where he's really good, but um and you mentioned it. I think there's something to that 3-2 you've already lived with going down, having your season on the line, and you've overcome it. I think that's a momentum that we've seen
Yep.
with the Lakers and the Heat and especially the Cavs. I remember that day of that game thinking, um, everyone in the Warriors locker room is wondering what happens if we lose, and everyone in the Cavs locker room is thinking, "Oh my God, what happens if we win?" Like that kind of, The Secret, if you ever read it, kind of pseudoscience, but that power of attraction is real, where it's just a hurdle to get over. Not meaning they doesn't mean they can't do it, but I do think the Pacers are just in a position to be within 5 points in the last couple minutes of the game, and that's a dangerous position to be with a 9-2 in clutch game Pacers. By the way, shout out to Basketball Illuminati, great stat that they had. Scott Foster calls the most fouls of anybody, any referee in the association, and he's the number one graded referee, meaning he's picked the most for these type of games. So that kind of worries me on the over. If they do get Scott Foster, and you're saying you'd lay money that they would, he kind of bucks convention and he will call fouls, even if history, or not history, but conventional wisdom says you got to let him play it out in Game 7. Another reason why I want to stay away from the total is the pace. Every year before this, the finals has been a historic. It can't be historic every year, but it's been a much lower pace than the rest of the regular season or the playoffs for either team. We saw that with Denver, Miami. That was like a 1995 pace. We definitely saw that with Boston, Dallas. That was like an early 90s pace. We saw that with Golden State, Boston, where the totals were dropping every game, and the pace reflected that. Here, the totals has dropped. It's gone from 230 in game one to 215, 15 points. But the pace throughout this series is exactly, if you average the Pacers' pace, 98.5, and the Thunder's pace, 100, in the rest of the playoffs besides the finals, you get almost exactly to what the two teams have averaged in these finals, which is a little bit more than 99.5. So, which is like a regular season average team pace. They haven't slowed down despite the pressure. I think that's the way the Pacers are built. They can't really make it a defensive first game. They have to get out and get threes up. So, especially with the adjustment, 8 points from game six, it keeps me off it. But gun to my head, I'm not betting it over in a game seven. I've just been trained too well, seeing too many results against 62% all time. But there's a reason why these trends don't last forever. So I'm staying off the side. The Pacers will be my best bet.
Yeah. Just going back to the Scott Foster point, he has refereed two game sevens of the NBA finals. We'll go back to game seven in the 2010 finals between the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. That was a 83.
Under.
Yeah,
Yeah.
83-79
Yep.
final score. But I will mention that the LA Lakers in that game shot 37 free throws.
Wow, they had 83 points and they shot 37 free throws.
Yeah, they
Wow,
made 25 of 37 of their free throws.
that's crazy.
Boston was 15 of 17, but it just wasn't a great shooting game for either team.
No way.
Lakers,
Yeah.
yeah, shot 32.5%, 4 of 20 from beyond the arc. And then I'll mention the game seven between the Heat and the Spurs. In that game, there was a combined 38 free throws, so not as many free throws as we saw all the way back in the 2010, where Scott Foster was involved in the officiating there. So it's, if we wake up tomorrow morning on Sunday that there's no Scott Foster, just kind of skip over this portion of the podcast. Yeah, you already mentioned everything about the total there, Mac. It just kind of makes me nervous again with these two teams at the pace that they do play at. That I would stay away from the total. But if you, like you mentioned, if you had a gun to my head, I would be on the under here. Since the 2005 season or playoffs, I should say, when there has been a game seven in the NBA Finals, all four of those games have gone under, and it hasn't been close. I think only one game touched more than 180 points in those four games. As far as my database does go back.